Before we get started, of course, that's not who we want to be at the end of the game. That's not who Miles wants to be. That's not who we're going to be. You have to be able to maintain your composure in times like that, and under no circumstance do we want anything to do with anything like that. I'm embarrassed. Miles is embarrassed. It's not good. So he understands what he did. He understands it's totally unacceptable, and we got to get through it. Any questions?
Freddie, what kind of discipline or suspension or anything might you expect at this point for Miles?
You know, I've never seen that in my life, so we'll wait and see. I can't answer that. It's you know, Miles is very upset about it. He's got to maintain his composure. That's it. So, you know, so we'll see. You know, we got to take it. Whatever they give it to us, you know, we got to take it. So, we'll see.
Did he tell you how this started?
I'm not going to get into like we don't react like that no matter what. That's not an excuse for anything that Miles did at all, and we're not giving him an excuse. He doesn't want an excuse, so it doesn't matter what happened. I don't even care what happened. We've got 5 seconds to go in the game. That can't happen. We've got 5 seconds to go in the game, the biggest game that this team's won in a. Never beat Baltimore and Pittsburgh in the same year since they've been in 1999. And then we've got to talk about this. So there's 52 other guys in that team, on the team, that hurt, and it's going to hurt moving forward. So we don't condone that, and it's not going to. Miles understands what he did wrong. All right, he's got to maintain his composure, just like he had to do at the start of the year. He had to maintain his composure. We got 5 seconds in the game. I'm sorry, but it's kind of like, you know, he understands.
Freddie, there were a couple helmet-to-helmet hits too, another ejection. Do you think there's a systemic problem on your team? Discipline?
I don't know. What do you, like, I'm not smart enough to understand what you said, so tell me what you want to,
I mean,
just ask me point blank what you're asking.
Do you think the team's out of control?
No. I think people get helmet-to-helmet contacts every week. I think Miles wishes he had used better composure with 5 seconds to go in the game.
I'll ask you straight out because you said to, does any of this go back to the preseason in Indianapolis when fights were, I don't want to say encouraged, but were okay?
No. Or encouraged. I never okayed fights. Did you say that? Did you say I okayed fights? I never okayed fights. Did I want them to get after their ass? Yes, I did. But that's not fighting. That's not after the whistle. But that's between the whistles, yes. I never condone fighting on a football field because that's penalties. I don't coach penalties. I don't coach false starts. I don't coach after the whistle grabbing somebody's face mask. I don't coach that. So I don't know what you're talking about with Indianapolis when I condone fighting. That's putting words in my mouth. I've never in my life condoned a fight. That's a penalty.
How does the way the game ended reflect on this entire team or this entire franchise?
Yeah, I don't know. That's for you guys to decide. I just know that while I'm the head coach here, that's not going to be acceptable in any form, fashion, or anything. So.
You said that 52 other guys are having to deal with what Miles did, but after he did what he did, then Larry Ogunjobi shoved Mason Rudolph down onto the ground when he was standing there watching the scrum
Yeah.
on the ground. So it wasn't just 52 other guys, I mean, it was a couple guys losing their cool, right?
I think once it all gets started, listen, none of it's acceptable. But once it gets started, somebody has to be willing to stop it and get to the sideline and stuff like that. But I know what the initial thing was. That's the reason why I said 52 others. So.
Are you concerned that do you feel like Miles is going to be done for the season?
I would hate to even guess. I have no idea. I truly have no idea.
And this victory put you guys in a position to save your, to keep things going, to keep this rolling. How much does it hurt that you're obviously going to be without Miles for a period of time?
He hurt the team.
Freddie,
That's all I can say. He hurt the team.
you had talked about how at the beginning of the year he had some of those after the whistle penalties, and then you had mentioned in the weeks after that he had cut down on those, and now here we are with Miles. Is there something? Why did this happen again with him in particular? Do you think?
I think Miles did a good job earlier in the year. He had 6 penalties the first. I don't know how many. He cut them down drastically up until this week, and it was just 5 seconds to go in the game. I don't know. You'd have to go back and look at it and see what transpired. I know what he told me, and I'm going to keep that between him and I. But you'd have to look at it.
Have you ever considered him a player who has trouble controlling his emotions?
No, I have not.
Did he apologize to you?
Yes.
Well, do you feel like when you give a personal apology to the Steelers, to Mike Tomlin, how are you going to approach that?
Well, I don't. I'm worried about my team. It's not them. I'm worried about my team.
So you didn't meet up with Mike Tomlin on the
Yeah, I mean,
game?
sorry things got out of hand. He had said the same thing to me earlier, when we were out there trying to get everything broke up. But yeah, I know Mike. Mike's a good guy. I respect Mike. I respect his team. I respect the Steelers. That none of that has anything to do with our game. It shouldn't be included in our game, and everybody feels the same way. I know you guys have to ask questions, but everybody knows that shouldn't be a part of the game under no circumstance. Mike knows that. He knows that I know that. It just can't happen.
Did you want them to end it? Did you, when you were talking with the officials and Mike Tomlin, did you just want the officials to call it right there so you guys both went to your locker rooms?
Well, we were trying to get everybody in our locker room when the game's over. No, nothing like that. But you've got to finish the game. So, I don't know. That never came up.
So that wasn't the discussion
No,
you guys were having?
you've got to finish the game. Even when they downed the ball with 5 seconds to go, we had to snap the ball again. So we put Garrett in there, took the snap, just so nothing would get, you try to create composure if you don't have it. So try to create it.
Do you enjoy this win at all, or is it ruined by this?
There's a team in there that paid the price for victory during the course of the week, short week. Came off a win last week. We just won 2 in a row. We accomplished a lot. We just wanted to go 1-0 this week. We accomplished that. So you can't lose sight of the good things that we did. The turnovers the defenses had, the offensive production early in the game, the ability to run the ball when we needed to run the ball at the end of the game. Had some lapses there in between that we need to continue to try to run the ball. But there's a lot of good things from the game that's going to get overshadowed by this. And a lot of people is not going to get the recognition because of this. Our tight end made an unbelievable catch in the end zone. You won't even hear about that because of all this. So that part of it, if I answer your question, Nate, is disappointing. That the Cleveland Brown organization has to answer questions about this whenever we just had a huge win. Yes. And they're hard. It's hard to win in a National Football League on a week-to-week basis. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are a great team, and we've got to answer questions about this rather than celebrate the guys that performed well at a high level.
Freddie, what are the first steps in picking up the pieces?
We got to stay together. Again, when you hit times of adversity, you have to run toward each other and not away. So just come to work and know that you've got support here. Everybody. I know I have support here with my staff, with Dee and Jimmy, with John Dorsey, with our players know that they have support from their coaches and other players. So you run toward each other instead of running away. If you run away, you're just doing a disservice to yourself and your team.
Freddie, you did just flip the script on a team that lives with takeaways. You just did it to them. It was a huge win. What does this do to your team emotionally? How much air gets sucked out of the life when this becomes the bigger story?
We'll come back from it. We'll be fine.
Freddie, the first thing that
But to answer your question, I mean, it's like I said, I've not fielded one question. I've not fielded one question about Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham, Chad Thomas, Joe Schobert, Greedy, Morgan Burnett, Steve Carlson, Hubbard, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Hadn't fielded a question about them. Not one question.
I think the first thing that you said, or one of the first things that you said when the week began was, we're going to have to control our emotions.
Yeah.
So how disconcerting is it to you that you emphasize that all week? You talk to players about it all week long, and that's exactly the opposite of what ended up happening in this game.
Well, 59 minutes and 55 seconds they did. So I guess we'll have to just see what, I don't know.
Do you understand why the questions are what they are? I mean, we haven't seen that either. You said you haven't seen that.
What are you talking about?
We haven't seen a guy swing a helmet at an opposing player.
Yeah, I haven't.
So do you understand why that's the focus of the questions, or do you think it's unfair?
Oh, no. That's what I'm saying, though. That's the disservice in the whole thing. We haven't asked any questions, answered any questions about what won the game for us. The price that these guys paid, we're having to answer questions about, something that we don't want involved in the game.